On the G250D coffee machine, today we're going to be replacing the distributor and a new style fitting we have made for this. The tools required will be a large cup, some teflon tape, and a 7/16 wrench. The wrench that we're going to be using is the 12mm wrench. First thing before we do anything, I'm going to grab this fitting and I'm going to put some Teflon tape on it. Okay. We're applying Teflon tape on the larger side, larger diameter thread. So I'm going to hold this right here. I'm going to cut clean that Teflon tape. Start putting Teflon tape here. Always making sure that the Teflon tape does not go over the front edge. So 2 to 3 turns will be okay. Break that there. And we're gonna set this aside. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna go behind the machine, we're gonna remove the back cover. Normally you'll find a set of a few screws all the way around holding this in place. And you just shift up. And we can set this aside. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to drain the water system so we can work by replacing that fitting. We don't get any hot water on us. So let's go to the front of the machine. And let's look for that menu option. Open the door. Press the programming switch. We're going to scroll down with the down key to where it says machine menu. Press enter. Manual test coffee machine. Press enter. And we're going to scroll down to where it says water boiler drain. Before we hit the enter button, we're going to go again back to the machine, the rear of the machine. I'm going to loosen this fitting, the one that comes right from the output of the water pump. We're going to put it inside this cup. And now we're going to go around the machine and we're going to press enter. Now you can see that the water starts to drain. Always be careful, this water is very hot. Once we see that the system has completely drained, we are now going to power off the machine. Set this cup aside. We're going to reconnect this connection here back to the water pump. Tighten this fitting. After we had tightened the connection of the input hose on here, and the machine is now off, we're going to go ahead and we're going to unplug it from the wall. Just to make sure there's no power in the machine. The next step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove the irrigation system so we can pass the fitting of the irrigation system towards the back. And this will be in this machine, this fitting right here. Also, we remove this O-ring because the irrigation system already has an O-ring. And we're going to keep it and we're going to save it just in case the one in the irrigation system goes bad one day. I'm going to remove this right here. We're going to loosen this hose. We're going to loosen this screw and we are going to unfasten by twisting counterclockwise, quarter of a turn, pull it straight down. The irrigation system is now off. And we're gonna feed this hose out the back, like so. Just pushing it back. All right, let's go around. First thing we're gonna do before we replace that fitting, we're gonna remove the distributor. Okay, take it out of the machine. It is easier if we remove this air vent with the fan system. Here on the bottom, there's a little tab that we push up, and we can shift the whole fan assembly towards us, put it at an angle, and then this just comes off. I click that in place just so it doesn't fall on me. Set that aside. Now we're gonna find both connections for the distributor, which is this one right here for the motor. Press on this tab, pull straight out, and the sensors for the distributor. Grab real close to the connector, pull straight out. Now we're gonna go ahead and remove this hose. Okay. We're gonna remove the hose from the boiler. Always be careful, this can sometimes be a little hot. And we can just disconnect that. Okay. Or we're gonna undo the 3 hoses that go to the mixer bowls. Once that has been taken care of, we're gonna locate the locking clip, which is up here. We're gonna pull towards us and slide the system towards the right, and now it just falls off. We can loop it around here carefully. And this is our distributor. We're gonna set this aside. Now that we have the irrigation system removed and the distributor out of the machine, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this cable from the air brake tank board just to get it out of the way. There's a little tab on the bottom we want to press. You just pull out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to remove this fitting, the 12mm wrench. Once we have loosened it enough, we can go ahead and by hand just finish removing it. See, that's the fitting off. Set it aside. Now we're going to grab a new fitting. I'm going to put it over the top, and we're going to start it by hand. Once it gets a little tight, we can go ahead and get our 7/16 wrench. And then just tighten it all the way in. And once we're all the way down to the last thread, we're just going to give it a little squeeze, but not too tight. Okay. Now we can go ahead and install the new distributor. Put it like this, cables this way. First gonna mount in the machine. Let's go ahead and pass all these cables around these here first. Like so. We're gonna mount it on these studs right where it goes there, and we're gonna shift it towards the left. Make sure it's in place. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to connect the electrical connections on the main board. Make sure we have this plug facing the right way with the little tabs on the top. Let's put it right in there. And we're going to have our motor connection just right here. Okay, fully connected. The irrigation system hose, we're going to feed it to where it goes. It is recommended to the machine before you're doing this install has been powered off, and the boiler drained for at least a good 15-20 minutes to make sure that the boiler is not hot, since we're going to be almost in direct contact with it. Now we're going to connect this hose, which is the drainage hose. We're going to connect the fitting for the water right over here. We're going to give this a good tighten now. Okay. The water hoses, make sure we connect them in the right order. Okay. We're now going to put the air vent back in place. We're going to loosen this again up. This goes up here, this in here. We're gonna line up the holes here for the air circulation, and we're gonna click it in place, and that's okay. We're gonna connect the air brake control board cable that we had disconnected previously. That goes there. Okay. And we are finished in the back. Well, now we're going to go to the front of the machine, and we're going to connect again the irrigation system. The irrigation system, we're going to make sure that this hole, it's over here, these arrows, like so. I'm going to put my hand behind with this finger touching this hole, and I'm going to feel when the pin goes inside here. Okay? I'm going to open this. As a matter of fact, if you were to remove this section here and this section, it is a lot easier to mount this. We're going to push this hose out of the way. I'm going to mount it. Go ahead and tighten this down. Now, closely, let's pay attention how this goes. The larger tab, which is right here, goes like a 45-degree angle pointing outwards like so, towards the coin mech area. It goes straight up into the irrigation system. Okay, like so. Go straight up, and then it gives like a quarter of a click. In the event that it does not go in, you know, go ahead and remove the irrigation system. And we're going to make sure that the O-ring is placed correctly. See how the O-ring has shifted out of place? We're going to get a small screwdriver or a stir stick. We're going to put this fitting how it should go. The little O-ring, I mean. Okay? Like so. I'm going to attempt to remount this back in position again. And again, the larger little tab at a 45-degree angle is out. And click, and you're done. Once we assemble the plastic, we can go ahead, turn on the machine, give it a wash cycle, make sure the distributor works, and we're done. We're going to go ahead and see that in just a second. Now we have installed the new distributor, we're going to go ahead and do a test wash cycle. This wash cycle is going to let us see that water comes out of the 3 mixture bowls, and later on we'll just go ahead and do a couple test fans, and from every mixture bowl, containing products from every mixture bowl, and just one a couple of espressos as well, just to make sure everything's 100%. Quickly, we're just gonna go ahead and press the programming switch here, and press the button, the cup dispenser button one time, and we take a look down here. We can see water coming from 1, 2, and the third hose. With that and a coffee test, we can conclude that the distributor is working properly.